The basic piece that we take away from it is that God has a plan for us all to have hope, and for us to all have a future, and for us to all have joy.
Hey, I'm Joey Fulgham with Integrity Insurance, and we're here with Michelle Mallett with Room 2911, and they're our Integrity Matters Spotlight Community Organization of the Month. And so what we're doing, everybody's struggling right now, everybody's kind of down and out. We're trying to spotlight people and organizations that are making a difference in the community, and overwhelmingly, people in Conway County have told us over and over and over that we need to spotlight Room 2911 and the difference that you're making in these kids' lives. So thank you for what you're doing over here.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. We are so supported by our community. They take wonderful care of us. I think that they've seen that there was a need, and they're really appreciative that we're doing what we can to meet that. So
it's pretty awesome. So we've got to visit with Michelle a little bit before we started filming, and just the passion that she has for the community and these kids, it's overwhelming. So tell us about Room 2911. What does the name mean?
So the name is obviously from the Bible verse, Jeremiah 29:11. And there's a lot of root meaning to that, but the basic piece that we take away from it is that God has a plan for us all to have hope, and for us to all have a future, and for us to all have joy. And we try to find as much joy as we can in the less hopeful portions of things. We usually get families and kids on their worst times, their worst days, when they're dealing with distance, and they're dealing with being taken apart, and they're dealing with possible abuse or neglect. They're struggling with what's going on, and we want to give them some hope that there's some better futures coming.
That's awesome. All right, so obviously COVID's hitting us all. Fundraisers are down.
Yes.
Monetary, obviously, you could use any help you can get in that department.
Yes, the lights still have to stay on. So
tell us what other things that you need besides money.
We usually do a baby shower every year, and now we are 2 years into not being able to do that. So I am extremely low in my diapers and wipes pantry. I am struggling in basically the day-to-day baby necessity needs, mostly diapers, pull-ups, wipes. Reason for that is because obviously we can't give those used. We can't give those gently worn. So that's not something that we get a lot of donations for. We're also, and I know it sounds so silly to ask for, we're struggling in the underwear department. From toddlers and potty training all the way up to grown men's and women's sizes for our teenagers. That's again something we can't give gently used. That needs to be new. We're doing great in socks. Thank you for Morrilton Elementary. They did a Socktober drive for us that we're still rolling on, and we appreciate it. But it's things like that we're really hurting for, that people don't think about. Our community takes wonderful care of us when it comes to gently used. Like y'all, we are over in donations, which is fantastic, because we're also able, when we're over in things, to help the Battered Women's Shelter and to help the care center. And we're able to work with the call and help out anywhere that we can if we've got an abundance. But there are places where we have a need that we're having to spend monetary donations on in order to meet those needs, which then in turn makes the things that we have to have monetary donations for very tight.
Well, that's
a long spiel.
And so as you get donations, like, do you need volunteers to help organize? Or
Yes. So again, thankful for all the donations that we get, but someone has to wash them, someone has to sort them, someone has to put them in sizes, clean them, and put them away. And that's a huge undertaking when we go through multiple donations a week. And this is all voluntary. We have no one who's employed here. Everyone that does everything they do, myself, our entire board, we are all voluntary. So the more help we can get, the better. Contacting the Facebook page is the best way to go about that. That's monitored by me as well as a couple of our board members. I'm slow to get back sometimes because I do work a full-time job and I'm on call and I have children, but message us and we'll find a way to plug you in. We'll find a way that we can work around people's schedules, or if you're afraid to be around larger groups, you can come in smaller groups and we don't even have to physically be in the same place, if it's a distancing issue. But our volunteers, we really have struggled since COVID just because of not being able to have people in the same place. And now that we're kind of getting to a point where that may be not the case coming up very soon, we're looking forward to getting back up and running, because we've got clothes that need to be changed over for the seasons, and kids are getting ready to start needing summer clothes, and we're ready. So
That's awesome. So is there a drop box or a way that you can drop off things here at the building, or what's the best way to get you the donations?
yes, so actual physical donations, the best thing to do is message the Facebook page or call the number that's on the Facebook page. We have remote security, which is beautiful because we can actually unlock remotely, and we have a donation room at the back of the house. So you pull around to the back of our building, we unlock the donation room for you when you message, and then you can come directly in, leave your donations, and then lock the door back, and we actually can reset the security system that way. So scheduling is not an issue. If you can't come till 8 o'clock at night because you work 7 to 7, awesome. Message me and let me know. I can open the door for you. It makes it so much easier. And then that way I don't have to have volunteers here at any specific time. They can come in on their schedule and work through donations as we go, because again, everything has to be cleaned and sorted, and so it kind of made it just so much simpler just to have that communication. So
That's awesome. So last thing, tell me how you got involved with Room 2911, and you're more than just a volunteer. Like tell me about your personal attachment to Room 2911.
So I started out, I worked as a DHS caseworker for almost 6 years in this county, and we would be at the DHS office with toddlers that we had to wash lice out of their hair in the bathroom, in a stall, or in a sink, or at our kitchen where we eat lunch, because we didn't have any other place to do that. And then the kids would have to lay in a pallet in the floor in my office, because I'm there by myself because it's 1 or 2 in the morning, while we're calling around to foster homes looking for placements. And I'm having to go through everything that this child has experienced, discussing the abuse or the drug use or the neglect or whatever they've dealt with that child in the room, because I can't leave the child unattended, and I can't not tell the foster family what we're dealing with. So obviously you kind of had to do a little bit of both. What we have now is an opportunity where when a kid comes into care, DHS can come here, they can take a shower, they can use an actual toilet, and that's not an office. They can sit on a couch and watch a movie, they can play with toys, they can eat real food. We have a refrigerator in there that we've got microwave meals in, we've got Easy Mac, and sometimes that's all kids really want anyways. They can play with toys, they can pick out the clothes that they're going to get from the donation rooms. They actually have some say in what they're wearing. It's not just some bag that was thrown at them that got picked out for them because it happened to be their size. And then they have a comfortable place to wait while DHS works on finding placement, so it's not as traumatic. We kind of touched on that hope and that positiveness towards the future, and that's really the goal. Because as a worker that did it, I saw it over and over and over again, and we realized that these kids deserve better, and we needed to find a way to do that. So I was actually on the board with 2911 before I left DHS, and I left DHS and actually adopted 2 boys out of foster care who had been through the system, who had been through the programs. And so for me, now we don't only just work with foster families, we also still work with guardianship homes, which was one of the big root goals for 2911, because in both jobs, I work as a juvenile probation officer now, and in both jobs, I can't tell you how many families I see that children are being raised by people who aren't their parents. They're being raised by grandparents or aunts and uncles or family friends. And because of that, those families don't get any resources from the state. They're not foster homes. They don't get any money. So if we can help them with tutoring, or if we can help them get some cleats so that kid can play baseball because they really need to do something other than sit at the house, we're going to do that. We're going to find a way to make that work. And we let them come shop for clothes, and we do school supplies, and we do Christmas, because DHS provides Christmas for foster kids, but nobody does for guardianship families. We did over 40 kids this year for Christmas. Awesome. We can make it work. And again, it's not just, we will help anybody. Like, we've got kids that are getting ready to go to boot camp because they want to do something better with their lives, not because they're made to. We'll help them get the gray sweats they've got to have, to make that happen. I'm sure I got a couple hanging in there right now for you, so it's anything we can do to help kids that need just a little something more that they're not quite getting.
That's awesome. So I'm big on authenticity, like where your words and your actions kind of align. Mm-hmm. You're the real deal. Like your compassion and all that. You're a superhero. So yes. It's awesome the work that you're doing, and you're really the hands and feet. So hopefully people will come alongside, make some donations, volunteer. Diapers are the biggest need right now.
Please, diapers and underwear, please and thank you.
Yeah. So hopefully we can fill this place up for you. So thank you for all that you're doing for the community and for those kids. You're really making a difference.
Thank you guys for helping, noticing, helping us get the word out. Like, I mean, even if we just get some folks that want to come help, we're in. Like anything we can get. So
thanks again. We appreciate you.